I actually going to confess something.
Uh-oh, here we go.
I saw Superman.
So
Everybody's like, heresy, heresy. I'm going to explain why I saw this movie, because our honored guest, who we'll bring in a minute, saw a movie that we all cherish deeply in our hearts, and also um, appreciated the art, the way it was done, it was created, it was how it was delivered. And he said when he showed us a shout out last night, he was going to watch the movie again to prepare for the show now. And that even gave me, what's the word I'm looking for? It inspired me to, you know what, put my ego aside and my pride. And I decided to watch Superman. I haven't done watching it yet because I was getting ready for the show and I'm doing everything. So I'm only an hour and like 15 minutes in.
Dude,
So
you're struggling that hard, eh?
no. It's not that I was stopping. It's just
No, not stopping. I said you're struggling with the movie that hard.
Oh, that's
Hey, tell the truth, man. How many times you throw up in your mouth?
Oh, I can't say that. There's I can't say that. Plus, you know, I'm a gentleman. Plus, I have someone who's watching me, so I can't say things. So, salud para ti, si tú sabes quién eres. So I gotta watch my mouth tonight.
Okay.
If you know,
All
you
right.
know. Okay. So bottom line is, I decided to watch Superman, and I'm like I said, I'm like it's like 50 minutes left to watch it. But overall, most of the scenes I've already seen online. So, but because Flix took the time to rewatch it again, I said, fuck it. I'm going to do the same thing. And I'm going to watch Superman so we can be par and have a actual debate and compare apples with oranges between me, us as DC fans, and a general honest cinephile like our guest. So please, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, and this gentleman, if you have not subscribed to his channel, link will be in the description, and go and enjoy his movie reviews because this guy is awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, Flix Talk.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Welcome.
Thank you guys for having me. Thank you. Appreciate you guys, man, for reaching out. I was just talking about this because I do 3 live shows a week myself, and I was like, I don't know what it is, why the sub count or something. People are afraid to reach out to me to pick my brain on a podcast. Like, I have not been a part of a podcast for months and months and months, and it's something that I mean, we're going to get into my journey, but I started off doing like all of these panel collab, talk about movie news and movie reviews and stuff like that. And then I started doing more pre-recorded stuff, which you guys are doing now. And people stopped hitting me up. So thank you guys, you 3, for reaching out. I mean, I know we're talking about a specific movie, and I'm more of like a general audience. And just thank you guys so much for reaching out. You know, I'm not going to bite hard, obviously, you know, but I am going to give you guys my honest and raw opinion. And I'm glad you guys reached out about this topic in specifically, because I do feel, and I said this in my review, that I'm the general, like the perfect audience is someone that only watched the first 2 Superman movies, the Christopher Reeve movies I'm talking about, and then the brand new one, which Castillo, you said you watched or part of it last night.
Today.
No,
just now.
Oh,
just
now.
Just now. I'm sorry. Yeah. Just now. And I did see it in theaters, and I actually saw it early because it was like some Amazon Prime like exclusive thing.
Oh, so you did the okay. You were the one of the Amazon guys.
Yes, I went into this completely blind. I was super excited because I was like, this is my first Superman experience. Like, this will be my first ever in theaters.
Superman in theaters. Yeah.
In theaters experience. And I saw it in IMAX. God, IMAX is getting crazy. It was like $27 for a ticket. I mean, I don't know if that's a lot for you guys, but that's a lot for me.
Yeah.
That is very expensive. And I'm Canadian, so it's even more over here.
So I definitely had my thoughts with it. I mean, we'll get into that.
2013, that was 4 tickets right there.
Yeah. Right? Inflation is a bitch. Yeah, and I'm sure we'll talk about the numbers too, because that's another thing everybody was arguing with me about, is about the inflation compared to, Man of Steel versus Superman and yada, yada. Okay. But as far as my journey goes, guys, I start off like you guys, just for a passion of the entertainment sphere of movies in general, whether it's actors, whether it's directors, just movies, and as a whole. Comic books for me wasn't a big part of my childhood personally. It was more the collecting of the comic book cards. Remember that the X-Men Flair 94 and all that stuff?
Yeah.
That was my jam. So I was collecting those kind of cards back in the day. I had the booklets full of them, the sleeves and the clear sleeves and all that stuff. I have them somewhere in my mom's attic or something. But I used to collect like a fool, man, and a fiend. But my thing never really dove into the comic books too much. But I was always watching movies from a very, very young age. And it was mainly when my parents separated when I was about 11 years old. If you guys know anybody, your parents are divorced and whatnot, you would go to dad's house usually on the weekends or mom's house on the weekends. And Friday night, you'd pick up some pizza. You go to Blockbuster, Hollywood Video. You get those 3 movies, man. You get those 3 movies. So my dad was always showing
experience, boy. Man.
Yep. So my dad would always get, like an action movie, horror movie for himself, and then he'd get the kids movie, right, for the kid. I have 2 other siblings. So at that time, the kids movie and whatnot, but I would always sneak out to watch whatever dad was watching, right? He'd be watching a lot of Stephen King movies, believe it or not. He watched a lot of like The Dead Zone, Shining, Silver Bullet. I remember it as like one of my first horror movies of all time. So it was just one of those experiences where I was always fascinated with cinema at a young age. And then later on, I just kind of took my love for computers, and my dad was a computer IT too. So he taught me about computers at a very young age, just kind of putting them together and taking them apart, fixing them if I needed to. And then, after high school, I got really deep into it. My first job was working at a movie theater. So I think that's the best.
Really? Nice.
If you have any young audience members that are asking about jobs, I don't know about now. The game might have changed a little bit, but working at a movie theater was the most fun job I've ever had. I was only there for a year.
Bro,
I worked
my first job.
I worked in a theater and Blockbuster.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, I didn't get that far.
In theater. Yeah.
Yeah. But so you guys know that, you're around people all the time. Yeah, you're doing shitty jobs like cleaning up and stuff like that.
It's a crazy experience just being around all of that, man. And you just absorb everything that you see in all of these movies that come out. You get to see movies for free and stuff like that. So yeah, dude, same here, man. At a young age, I picked it up. My first like major cinematic experience was Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I saw that when drive-ins were popular. So so way back then. So that was like part of my love for science fiction in general. But that was my first experience. And then after that, I love movies.
That's a great first big movie too. I actually since I've been doing reactions on my channel for like the last like 4 or 5 years, Close Encounters of the Third Kind was one of my reactions. That one blew me away. And there's something, we talked about it like pre-show, is that movies had this feeling back then, man. It had to hit on all cylinders, right? You had to have the great acting, you had to have the director, even the producers, but also the cinematic score.
The score, yeah.
Everything had to align to make it a great movie. And I understand where things are going with streaming, where it's more of a quantity over quality. At least that's how I feel. I know people that go to the movie theater every single weekend, sometimes twice a week. And that's what I used to do. I was an AMC Stubs member, and I recently I wasn't going as much as I wanted to make it worth it. There's still great movies out there. Trust me. I just find, more solace in the movies of yesteryear, or the ones that my channel recommends to me. But going back to kind of the journey at hand, is that we started this channel, the Flix Talk channel, and I say we because it was a collective effort. This is a very community-based channel over on Flix Talk. I'm the speaking head for it, but it took so much people's inputs and all these collaborations. And I used to do a live show with this guy MovieTalk, who's big now. This guy Elliot. So like people that have taken their love for fandom, their fandom for movies, or just entertainment in general, in the entertainment sphere, and have broke off and branched off and just continue to talk movies. And that's what it's about, is giving your opinions on these movies, whether someone likes it or they disagree. I really wish just people would agree to disagree. If you don't like something, you don't have to watch it.
You
know what I mean? because
you're preaching to. We've been saying that for years
since we started this show. It's been one of the number one things that we always hit on is that there's always common ground. We can find some common ground. We can agree to disagree. It just seems like we're in this culture right now where people don't want to do that. They just they don't. So
we do open panels
where we bring on we'll bring on anybody. Invite people. Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. That's good. There needs to be more discourse and more disagreements, I think, because you do have a lot of panel shows out there, but for the most part, it's everybody's agreeing with something, right? You got to have something to disagree with so you can kind of just see how the other side thinks or see how they're seeing it, right? Or jump in their shoes for a little bit and say, okay, I understand your points.
They're too worried about being or disappointing somebody, it seems like. You know what I mean? They might be disappointing a friend or they might be disappointing whoever, but they just agree, and then to avoid like real honest talk. And if there's no truth in it, then what's the point? You can say you don't like something, you just don't have to be stupid about it. Have some intellect. Why didn't you like it? Break it down. What was it about it? Give an honest critique, as opposed to just saying something sucks and you didn't like it and that's all you got. So
How many times do you see comments of people saying, "Oh, this movie looks like," or "This movie is shit"? Have you seen it? No, I haven't seen it, but I know it's shit. Oh, well, you don't know then.
Oh, we get that all the time. All the time.
Yeah.
So
with the movie that we're going to talk about, we get that on a daily basis.
Oh,
yeah, no, I can understand it. So after a while, guys, I just kind of, did the live shows, but I was doing a lot of movie reviews too, so pre-recorded stuff. And somehow I think it was a buddy of mine who was also dabbling in movie reactions. And I reached out to him. I was like, how can I do that? Because there's so many movies that people recommend, and I would love to get my first time reactions on it. I'm sure I can do it. I just don't know how to do it. So he let me know how he did it. I kind of worked my magic.
That's another conversation we actually want to have with you, because we tried to get into that space. We attempted it, and it's like no matter what we did, YouTube's like nope. Copyright.
It's a lot of editing.
It's like, oh my
God. It is a lot of editing. It's very, very tedious. If you guys don't have an editor, please hire one or something. But I do everything here, by the way. The thumbnails, the editing, the recording, everything.
Man.
And I have a full-time job too. It sucks, but
that's incredible, because like with our show here, we all have certain roles. Like we all have certain jobs when it comes to pushing this podcast and doing certain things. So to hear that you're taking on that entire responsibility on yourself with a full-time job, bro, like I give you all the props in the world, because I know if it wasn't for these two gentlemen who I work with here, I could not do this alone. And I think we all feel that same way.
Charles is our cinephile of the podcast. Rox is our marketing guy, and I'm the producer. So pretty much, that's how we all distribute everything.
That's what you need nowadays, and I commend you guys for each, collectively, like coming together for the Lethal Geeks podcast, right? And pushing it out there. Like where I struggle, I suck at social media promotion. So TikTok, Instagram, like creating all that reels and stuff. I wish I had more hours in the day. I just can't do it. But I've gotten to a point where my audience knows that if my schedule becomes too busy, it's cool. I'll put it out when we get a chance. You know what I mean? Because I have a Patreon as well. I just started a membership over on YouTube. So like all of these obligations to like, oh, by the way, I didn't even. I'll show you guys when we talk about Man of Steel. I got a couple little pickups here.
But let me stop you for a second. I'm so glad all of this stuff that you're saying now, Flix, because. Oh my God! I wish we'd have had this conversation a
long time ago, man. he had the perfect balance. This is exactly the guy.
This is the guy. This is the guy. But before we continue, we got a super chat here. So, JT,
that's my buddy right there.
There's your buddy there. $5 Australian, I guess.
Yeah, he's from South Australia.
Wow.
South Australia. Okay. Welcome. Good morning, Lethal Geeks and our movie, in our FlixTalk family. Main man David. Nice.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for the super chat, man.
You get